Hey everyone, I really need to do this highlights video because just now my list of films that I've watched that I've loved is getting longer and longer. And the one I want to start with is Premonition, which I actually watched about 2 months ago, was supposed to put it in my previous highlights, completely forgot. Premonition, Sandra Bullock, I'm still completely in love and obsessed with her, it's ridiculous. She wakes up one morning and is told that her husband is dead, then the next morning she wakes up and he's alive, and then this keeps going on and it is mind-boggling and so confusing. It's a very psychological thriller, it's very dark and it makes you think, and a lot of the time it doesn't make sense, but it's fantastic and it gripped me from start to finish and I loved it. Beyond Borders with Angelina Jolie, her character goes out to the third world to try and solve hunger problems and help with different issues in the third world. And ordinarily that kind of story is not my thing, but what I loved about this is how graphic it was, and I mean that in the nicest way. I watched it and thought, I really want to go and help the third world in any way that I can, and it's so touching. And I think a film that can affect a person's morals and attitudes towards compassion and helping others, it's done a fantastic job, and for that it deserves credit. Hacked is pretty scary. This is actually called The Den, I believe, outside of the UK, and it's about a social networking site that hacks this girl's computer, and then she witnesses what looks like a fake murder, and then all these strange things start happening and it's very threatening, and her friends start being killed. Basically, if you go on social media, like YouTube, somebody will hack into your account and you will die. It's just a jump to the left and then a step to the right. I watched Rocky Horror Picture Show, absolutely fantastic. It's like somebody's taken my mind and just purged it out onto the film. It's so good. I'm not going to say too much about it because you've either seen it or you need to see it. There's no third option of ways it's going to be for you. But it's crazy, it's kooky, it's mental, it doesn't make sense, and that's why it's brilliant. The Orphanage is easily one of the best films that I've seen this year, and it's a foreign film, so it is subtitles, but it's directed by Juan Antonio Bayona. This family moves back into this orphanage where the mother grew up. It's now a home, and she has this intention of bringing more children in and having a big family, but her son goes missing, and there's some kind of weird supernatural presence, apparently, that has something to do with the past and events that happened just after she left the orphanage, and it's so dark and compelling, and I will say now, the ending, how it resolves, not what I was expecting. So amazing, so incredible, the development is amazing, it's, oh wow, it's just so touching and so effective, and I think I have to watch it again. I love it, I love it, love it. High five if you like Drop Dead Gorgeous, because it is so funny. Drop Dead Gorgeous is a parody of beauty pageants, and it's very funny. And the way it pokes fun at beauty pageants is fantastic, but I think the reason I loved it most because it has just a stellar cast. Kirstie Alley, Denise Richards, Brittany Murphy, Amy Adams, a whole bunch of other people, and it's just, if like me you look at beauty pageants and think, yes this is great but I'd rather be Gracie Hart, then it's brilliant. It's a little bit shocking at times, but it's very good. 84 Charing Cross Road is a very sweet film. An American woman writes from America to Charing Cross Road in London and takes up this correspondence with the owner of an antiquarian bookshop, and they develop quite a strong friendship, and it's kind of, will they meet, will this woman ever travel to London to meet him, and what's going to happen. And also, if you love literature and antiquarian books, you can almost smell them coming off of the film. It's so moving. You know, I love Leslie Mann, and I don't know where this comes from because she just keeps popping up in films, but I've never intentionally gone to see any film that she's in because she's in it. It's weird. But she's in The Change Up, and so is Jason Bateman, who is so pretty. Two brothers accidentally swap lives after they have a pee in a fountain, and one of them has a very carefree life, the other one's got a lot of responsibilities, and it's how do they cope with one another's lives. And you know, don't judge a person till you've walked in their shoes. It's quite typical in that sense, but I think it's very funny and very well acted. Agoraphobia is quite twisted. It's about a girl who can't go outside because she has agoraphobia, and she has her friend and her boyfriend helping her through this, but not everything is as it seems. The house is a bit apparently haunted, for want of a better way of putting it, and all these different things start happening, and it's so compelling and so much better than I thought it would be. And if you're in the mood for something a bit different, I think it's quite good. The other thing about agoraphobia is that its entire thing is filmed inside the house, and usually if a film is filmed in one location, it just moves so slowly and it can drag. Not a problem with this one. As a viewer, we are trapped in that house with her and it works perfectly. Oh my goodness, Mirror Mirror is one of the films that's on those quadrilogies of horror films that are really cheesy and nobody cares about. It is so underrated. It is incredible. It's about a mirror that gives somebody magical powers, but they don't realise that the powers are evil, and at first they think they control them, but then things start to go a bit crazy and there are deaths and illnesses, and it's quite graphic at times, so if you're squeamish it's not for you. But I think the main reason is that I loved our lead character. She's played by a girl called Rainbow Harvest, and if you Google her, she's like this giant mystery of an actress because nobody knows what happened to her, and I can't find anything else about her online. So if you do know kind of what happened to her after the 90s, let me know. But the character is very Lydia Dietz in her image. The last one I want to talk about is from the same quadrilogy of horrors, and this is Spontaneous Combustion, and it's about people who start spontaneously combusting, and there's fire coming out of their hands and their arms, and it's just a bit wacky and a bit crazy. And I think back in the 90s it might have been a bit scary, but now it's just a lot of fun, and there was just something about the concept of people just bursting into flames that I found so interesting. Thank you for watching this highlights. I think it might be a wee bit long, but as I said, there are so many films that I've watched recently. I've had a really good run recently of really good films. Any suggestions for any you think I should check out, as always, please let me know, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye!